awaken from nightmares of flying and falling, you find yourself in this strange place, the only illumination, an eerie green glow. You've lost your weapons and the contents of your backpack somewhere during the journey. All you have are the clothes and armor on your back. This leaves you with 4 burning questions. Where are you? How did you get here? Who brought you here? And how in blazes can you get out of here? No, make that 5 burning questions. What city did your luggage end up in this time? You are in a large cave, dimly lit by glowing lichen on the walls. Strange, irregular outcroppings of stone grow from the ground, looking like the skeleton of some enormous beast. Here and there, petrified human bodies seem to grow half in, half out of the floor and walls. You stumble and fall over the ancient petrified corpse. As you pick yourself up, you discover a dagger and some coins on the dried-out dead body. It isn't going to use them anymore, so you take them. Flank the altar to provide light for nameless rites and unspeakable rituals. The altar feels strangely warm to your touch, but leaves a deeper chill somewhere within you. It seems to be a kind of stone valve acting as a door to the passageway beyond. The valve won't budge. If you had a bit more light, maybe you'll be able to see how to open it. A brief search reveals a piece of hard grey rock, which you take, and some coins, 3 crowns and 13 kopecks. You find 30 assorted copper and gold coins on the bottom. This torch is firmly embedded in its holder. You take the torch. Force the sphincter open with your dagger and pass through. You've made it into a large chamber. Stone valves, like the one you just passed through, apparently block 3 other passageways. There is a huge stone altar in the center of the room, and an exit to the south. The rough stone altar is covered with dark stains as of blood long since dried to powder. You feel a creepy, uneasy sensation whenever you pass near it. The altar feels strangely warm to your touch, but leaves a deeper chill somewhere within you. You gratefully retrieve the shield and battered sword from the dead warrior. You hope that they will serve you better than they did their last owner. As you approach the exit, you are confronted by 2 flying creatures. They have bat wings and spider-like bodies. In a bitter battle, you were better than the badders. You kicked some butt, too. There is a broad stone ledge on this side of the rope bridge. You can see a glint of light somewhere beyond this exit. The strong wind in this cave is blowing the plants towards a passage on the left side of the chasm. Such cave drafts commonly indicate an exit of some sort. You can see the entrance to a large cave at the bottom of the pit. You catch an occasional glimpse of a horrid, multi-tentacled monster just inside the cave. A heavy rope bridge spans the deep chasm. Cautiously test the rope before crossing. It feels as though it's firmly anchored on both ends of the chasm. You are so exhausted that everything you do hurts. Better get some rest. You just barely made it across the pit. Slip through the mouth of the cave, just in time to avoid being crushed by its closing jaws.
You are alive! Only one person has ever walked away from there before. Who are you? How did you get here? Oh, there are so many questions I want to ask you. But I have to get home quickly. It is so dangerous out at night in Mordavia. The town is due north of here. Be careful. There are many bad things wandering around. Good luck. Oh, by the way, my name is Katrina. I hope we meet again sometime. Farewell.
The archway above the path is inscribed with 8 arcane symbols. You recognize 7 of them, from Arcania 101, no doubt, as the symbols of blood, bone, breath, essence, heart, the mouth, and the senses. The 8th is new to you. It looks a bit like a 6-tentacled starfish, or perhaps more like a squished squid. Something about the symbol fascinates and scares you at the same time. The six-pointed symbol seems to pulse with energy and comes loose in your hand when you touch it. You have the feeling that you may need this sign, so you carefully store it in your pack. The path is dripping with slimy goo. You're having a hard time maintaining your footing on it. The path is dripping with slimy goo. You're having a hard time maintaining your footing on it. A delicately crafted bonsai bush looks totally out of place in a pool of dark, unhealthy-looking goo. This tall standing stone has been carved so that the top looks like a squid is perched upon it. It doesn't look particularly stable. You can't reach the bonsai from here, and the ledge is too slippery for you to climb on it. Perhaps you can try something else. The Dark One sign does look a little like the top of this standing stone. So you try touching the sign to the stone. You feel a resonance between them, but nothing else happens. The heavy odor of decay overwhelms your senses and makes you feel slightly nauseated as you survey this gloomy swamp. The decayed remains of a human arm claw at you as if to drag you down to share its doom. You see a floating, coruscating ball of light. After some rest, you feel better. You are in the southwestern corner of the forest. Dank mists rise from a dismal swamp to the southwest. Wildflowers bloom with the autumn weather. Pine trees grow in profusion in this cool climate. In winter, they needle the deciduous trees mercilessly. You grab a handful of rocks. The trees in this part of the forest feel particularly wooden. A babbling brook chatters its way through the forest. You are in the western part of the forest. An old road once led to the east. Only after careful searching do you manage to find traces of the road to the south as well. The hungry hunting hawk alertly searches for signs of game not already claimed by the forest monsters. You are in the western part of the forest. You are near the northwestern corner of the forest. You are near the northwestern corner of the forest. An overgrown road once ran east and west through this area. You can see part of the town wall to the northeast and an ominous castle far to the north. Just past the hill, you can see cultivated fields and a walled town. The town gates, made of massive oak logs, are currently wide open. There is a heavy oaken bar to secure them at night. Tall shocks of corn have been harvested and wait here to be stored for the winter. Some beautiful giant pumpkins are growing in the field. The villagers have erected a scarecrow to keep birds away from the newly harvested corn. You take an ear of the corn and put it away in your pack. You've never been very good at making pumpkin pie. It's considered poor form to climb the town walls during the day. Try using the gate. The curved staff has a very organic look to it. Its curves seem somehow feminine. You can feel a sense of magical power radiating all around it. Beautiful, out-of-season flowers grow all around the stone monument. The staff feels warm and almost alive in your hand. You hear an eerie voice in your head.
This I must first do. The sacrifice of life for one of love.
You find yourself letting go of the staff very quickly. You pick some flowers and put them away.
You! How did you get here? Why are you here? Few strangers come to Mordavia. I am the Burgomeister. It is my job to know everyone and everything that goes on here. My name is Dmitri Ivanov. I am the Burgomeister of this town. Mordavia is a valley surrounded by mountains. There used to be a road which led from here, but heavy rains have created a swamp at the base of the mountain south of here. No wagons can get you in or out, nor can any person, except perhaps you. This is the town of Mordavia. There is an inn and a shop down the street where you can spend the night or get some supplies and be on your way. The sooner you leave, the better for all. There are many dangers in Mordavia, and we certainly do not need a stranger to stir up new troubles. The Hotel Mordavia has rooms and food. It is a safe place to spend the night. The shop does not carry much. We have been cut off from supplies for a while now. Still, you may at least restock your food rations before you continue with your travels. There are many strange and dangerous creatures that live in Mordavia. Trust nothing. The gates of this town are closed at sunset. Do not let yourself get caught outside after dark, for few can survive a Mordavian night or remain sane enough to speak of it. Just leave Mordavia quickly. No good comes from outsiders, and we do not want you here.
You tell the Burgermeister about how you came here.
Do you expect me to believe such a story? That you could walk out of that cave alive? That the cave would be open? Tell me no more lies.
You don't have any rations. You better get some food soon. From the sign reading Burgermeister's office, you cleverly deduce that the Burgermeister works here. It's been years since you studied Mordavian, but you think that Burgermeister might be the word for mayor, or perhaps sheriff. The sign reads General Store. You wonder how much of a commission the salespeople get. The sign simply reads Inn. Guess that means you should go in. You've entered a small but nicely furnished country inn. Stairs lead up to the guest bedrooms. The floor is covered with sawdust and peanut shells. The barrel contains the few shells that manage to land in it. The innkeeper stares at you with an expression of fear and astonishment. It is several seconds before he speaks.
This is the Hotel Mordavia. Rooms here are 15 kopecks for room and board. Pay for 1 week in advance. Your room will be the first room at the top of the stairs. When you want food in the morning or evening, just sit down over there by the door.
Pay the innkeeper for your room and board.
Thank you for your payment.
You eat your plain but nourishing breakfast. It has more than a bit of garlic added for spice. You unlock the door to your room and go in. The window opens out onto the back of the inn. A narrow ledge runs under it on the outside. Garlic braids festoon the room, adding that certain special ambiance of Gilroy in the spring to the room. The bed is adequate, but nothing to take home with you. After you leave, they'll probably put a plaque on it reading something like, "Hero slept here." Assuming, that is, that you leave in one piece and with your throat intact. Not necessarily a good assumption. After some rest, you feel better. The chest is empty. The townspeople have a poor opinion of people whom they see climbing out of windows and over roofs.
This inn used to do a steady business before the swamp prevented traders and tourists from coming. Now we mostly make our money off of food and drink. The castle was once that of the boyar. Now we do not know who lives there. Besides the ones that come in here in the evening, there are quite a few others. You probably have met the shopkeeper, the gravedigger, and the burgomeister. And then there's Nikolai and that crazy Dr. Cranium. He is a harmless old man who wanders around looking for his dead wife. It must be a shame to grow old all alone. Dr. Cranium came to Mordavia several years before the swamp closed off the pass. No one knows much about him, but no one trusts him. It is rumored that he conducts strange experiments. The shopkeeper knows everything that goes on in town. She also makes a delicious avocado and garlic sandwich, which she sells as rations. The burgomeister keeps to himself and lives in his office. The gravedigger is a strange one, though he is a good carver of tombstones and digger of graves. I know little of the forest, for I seldom leave my inn. You should speak with the burgomeister. Perhaps he can tell you more about it. I am well, as always. I do not gossip.
So, you are still around, are you? When are you leaving Mordavia?
This general store is cheery and well lit, thanks to the warm hearth. The first things that you notice are the cats. They seem to be everywhere. Then you see the shopkeeper sitting on her rocking chair as she knits. She's a very, sturdy-looking woman.
So, you're the stranger in town. I've heard all about you already. If you must know, my name is Olga Stovich. What's your name, stranger? And what are you doing in Mordavia?
You tell her a few things about yourself.
Oh, professional hero, huh? Easy to say, hard to do. We'll see. Let me see, what could you use? Well, besides my regular items like brooms and pens, I really don't have anything else for adventurers like yourself. I do have some lovely sandwiches you can use for rations. And garlic, of course you'll need garlic. I've also got some oil you can use to keep the weapons and armor from rusting. And if you like sweets, I've got some yummy homemade candy. Although the garlic-flavored ones have all been purchased by now. I'll have to make some more. And a shopping bag to carry things in. I have a couple of those left. 3 twists of candy will cost you just 5 kopecks. The kids love them. Oh, now garlic is a must-have item. It's just 25 kopecks for a bulb, and it will add flavor to any food.
Storekeeper looks around nervously for a moment, then continues.
You know, some say garlic also has medicinal and protective properties. My husband always said I make the most interesting sandwiches. They're very good for you, and I only charge 50 kopecks each for them. The shopping bag costs 50 kopecks. It is very useful for carrying your purchases or other large things. A flask of household oil will cost you 100 kopecks. It's good for door squeaks and can also be used to loosen up rusty wagon wheels. I can sell you a very nice large pie pan for 250 kopecks. I've always admired the men who can cook. can purchase the hen broom for 350 kopecks. I'm sure you'll really clean up with it. Now, what would you like to know about? Yeah, Bella's a good woman. She's the one who really runs the inn. Her husband just gives orders. Someday she'll give Yuri a piece of her mind, and good for her. The things she puts up with. Bella, she was a pretty woman not long ago. Was not called Bella for nothing. Losing her only child really aged her. What a tragedy. The castle north of town was abandoned for many years. Then some strangers moved in 4 years ago. No one knows what goes on there now. But it won't be for the good, I'll tell you. Werewolves are gypsies, no question about it. They change into wolves at night, eating anyone they can get. Nothing can kill a werewolf but silver or magic. So you be careful out in the woods at night, you hear me? The gypsy camp is not at all that far from here. That is a bad place, and you'd better have nothing to do with it. It is dangerous and should have been torn down long ago. Many a stranger never came back after asking questions about it, so don't let your curiosity be the death of you. Yeah, my husband and myself had run this shop for many, many years. My husband passed on now, but I keep it just the way he liked it. A well-run shop is a busy shop, he always used to say. Not very busy anymore, what with the swamp. But I try to keep it going the best I can. Mostly housewares, but a few items that might interest you. Or, as my dear departed Boris used to say, may the winds blow fair at your back.
Through the open window, you can see the Burgomeister's sparsely furnished office. Doors inside lead to a cell and to the Burgomeister's private quarters.
What is it this time?
The Burgomeister looks like a strong, hearty man, although he has a sad expression. This door opens onto the Burgomeister's bedroom and private quarters. A magnificent shield, flanked by 2 great axes, is the office's sole decoration. In such a small village, only 1 jail cell is needed. The Burgomeister was very fond of wild boar hunting in his youth. He still keeps a rack of spears in case any wild boars should wander into his office.
Why are you always so curious about things? Don't you understand? Most things are none of your business. Never have I met someone who asks as many questions as you do. The old Adventurers Guild is at the north end of town. It has been abandoned for many years, since we have not had many adventurers who could cross the swamp. Seeing as you are supposed to be an adventurer, here, have a key to the guild door. Perhaps you can find something of use there. The problem with adventurers' guilds is that they attract adventurers. Adventurers tend to stir up trouble. I hope you will not cause trouble around here. More sightseeing? Well, there was a lovely lake to the southwest of town that used to be very popular among young people, but I do not know what it's like now. To the east is the town cemetery. It is a morbid thing to visit, but tourists always wanted to see it when tourists were able to come here. To the southeast is Irana's garden. It is an enchanted meadow well worth visiting. However, Mordavia has become a very dangerous place since the swamps were formed. Do not ever travel at night. If you are far from town when it gets dark, try to make it to Irana's garden. It's the only place where you will be safe. I do not really want anything to happen to you. Be careful. Irana was a powerful magic user who was rumored to have come from somewhere near Mordavia. Her garden is supposed to be magical and keep anyone who stays there safe from harm. Irana died here many years ago. Her staff in the center of town stands as her memorial. It is supposed to protect the town from evil and to have other magic besides. It is bad luck to speak of her death. If you must know, she died in that cave you say you came from. I'm not a superstitious man, but I will not talk more about the subject. I have been hearing all sorts of stories about you lately. No one is certain what to make of you. Yet. Try to avoid getting into trouble. I would not like to have you in my jail, after all.
As you enter the northern part of the town, you hear the sound of a chisel chipping away at a stone block. A man is carving gravestones at one end of the street. Your attention quickly moves from the stone carver to the ominous Gothic building in the center of the street. There is definitely something not right about this structure. This weather-beaten boarded-up door once sported a painted sign, but you can no longer read it. This is a bas-relief of a strange creature. It looks like an octopus with only 6 tentacles. You have a creepy feeling as if it is looking right back at you. From the hump on his back to his twisted body, this is either the Hunchback of Notre Dame, a mad scientist lab assistant, a gravedigger, or an Elvis impersonator.
Igor. Just Igor. Building was Adventurers Guild. No adventurers, no guild. Town Mordavia. This north part of town. Oh, this day job. Also work graveyard shift. Little graveyard humor there. Igor dig graves in cemetery. Igor put dead person in grave. Igor cover dead person with dirt. Igor put headstone on grave. Oh, plenty job security around here. Business is piling up. Little graveyard humor there again. No, Igor not hear rumors. Igor not no stranger in town. Igor not no doctor make strange things in lab. Igor not no funny man in inn not funny. Igor not know many things. Igor not hear many things. Ah! Bad building. No go there. Bad, bad, bad.
It's completely silent beyond the door. Lock the door using the key the Burgomeister gave you. It's a rare example of the deadly Mordavian moose, distinguishable by its long, fang-like canines. Someone has strung garlic around its neck, probably in hopes that it will stay on the wall. This is either some sort of diabolical device or an exercise machine. Come to think of it, exercise machines are diabolical devices. Some round metal weights lie neatly stacked on the floor. I better hope Dr. Cranium doesn't see them. He'd probably invent the cannon and upset the balance of power. This is a long, sturdy-looking rope with a grapnel hook attached to one end. The portrait of an adventurer long gone hangs on the wall here. A small plaque at the base reads, Piotr, Paladin. The painting shows a proud-looking adventurer standing on an obviously defeated dragon. It might have had more impact if the dragon wasn't just as obviously winking. The plaque says, Wish you were here in Silmeria, Dunstan. The finely crafted sword rests within this case, but there doesn't seem to be a door or any way to open the case. A plaque reads, Break glass in emergency. There is an empty picture frame above the bookshelf. Either somebody thought the wall itself was a piece of art, or a thief has been at work here. The painting doesn't look particularly valuable, and there's nothing behind it. The painting doesn't look particularly valuable, and there's nothing behind it. The case looks totally solid, as if it was constructed around the sword. A plaque reads, Break glass in emergency only. You break open the front of the case. Avoiding the broken glass, you pull out the sword. It looks like a fine quality weapon. That would be a lot easier if the desk had a drawer. You read in the adventurer's log about some of the exploits of past adventurers in Moldavia. Prominent among them is the story of Piotr and the Dark One's cult. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells how he led the armies against the Chernovi cult outside the Dark One's cave. The fighters were trained soldiers, but the cult members fought like madmen. Suddenly, the cult members changed their forms and became grotesque monsters. Many of the soldiers panicked and ran. The battle was nearly lost. Then Piotr heard the voice of Irana. By all my will, I banish you too. The voice was cut off. The cult members screamed and ran. Piotr entered the cave and searched for some sign of life. All he could find were the grotesque remains of cult members. The only sign of Irana was her magical staff lying on the ground. Piotr picked it up and left the cave, knowing that Irana was beyond his help. Piotr then tells how he brought the staff back to town and placed it in the town square. A garden of flowers instantly sprang up around it. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells that he was going to seek out the rituals of the Dark One and destroy them. There are no later entries. You sign your name into the adventurer's logbook with a flourish. It's almost become a habit by now. Nice try, but the bookshelf won't budge. If there's a secret passage around here, it's hidden a different way. Hey, this isn't a lending library. Which book do you want to read? You read the book entitled Climbing Skills for Upwardly Mobile Adventurers. It's written entirely in one-syllable words, obviously intended for fighters. It's absolutely fascinating. This book teaches you that climbing sheer walls is best left for specialists, but that anyone with reasonable strength can climb using a rope and grapnel. I'm pretty sure you know what to do now. As you scan through Hero, the Journal of General Job Adjusting, you find quite a bit of information that might be useful here. There are a series of articles about the land of Moldavia. The town originally grew up around Castle Borgov. The Borgovs were the boyars, or local noblemen, assigned the role of guarding the area from invaders. The chapter on fauna describes a number of interesting creatures. The Necrotor is a vicious carnivore with big, sharp teeth. Some of the other monsters sound even more horrific. In the forest lives the Lishi, a creature known for playing practical jokes on travelers and playing riddle games, but which can also be helpful to those it likes. You learn about the Rosalka, the spirit of a murdered unmarried woman. Such spirits are said to inhabit lakes and rivers. They try to avenge themselves by drowning any man foolish enough to approach them. You could really learn a lot by reading this magazine thoroughly instead of just browsing through it. Isn't it nice that we included a complete copy in your game box? The book turns out to be an advertising brochure. It says, I, Dr. Cranium, predict that someday one of my descendants will become the subject of a major computer game. The Castle of Dr. Brain from Sierra Online. Jeez, how cheesy can you get? This book teaches the ancient Oriental art of talk fool. How to overcome opponents by attacking them with the unpronounceable names of martial arts forms and confusing them with fortune cookie wisdom. You get lost somewhere between karate and kokusur. This book teaches you how to use the stair-stepper to build strong leg muscles and talks about the importance of whole body development. It says to build up your strength gradually by adding weights to the baskets. Any more weight might strain your muscles. Try working with the weights you already have in the baskets. You pick up the rope and grapnel set and tie it onto your pack. Your legs are too stiff and sore to use this right now. The sign reads, Dr. Cranium. You wonder what sort of medicine he practices. The old man walks with a slumped back and a sad, dejected look in his eyes. He seems to be searching for something that he hasn't been able to find.
I am Nikolai. Have you seen my honor? honor. Have you seen my honor? I am looking for honor. Have you seen honor?
This strange device is labeled Transcendental Receiving Animal Processor. I wonder if that stands for something. Be careful, it might be a trap. The sign says, "This is the key maze." The sign on the door says, "Dr. Cranium's private laboratory. Entrance by prior appointment or demonstration of superior intelligence only." There's a sign on the door. It says, "Warning, do not open without appropriate precautions." It reminds you of a porthole minus the glass cover. So it's definitely not a glass of port. The bust's eyes seem to follow you as you walk through the hallway. That looks like a likely place for a spare key. But you don't find anything. Luckily, nothing in the hole bites your hand off. You hear mysterious bubbling and sizzling noises. Every once in a while, you think you hear someone muttering to himself. You faintly hear a voice saying, "Don't knock, come on in," from beyond the door. You've uncovered a keyhole, but you don't have the proper key to open this door. Behind the door is a sort of rat maze, but it's missing the rat, or whatever is supposed to be traversing the maze. No, you've been Antwerped. Fortunately, these are just baby Antwerps, so the attack wasn't fatal. Activate the trap with avocado from your sandwich. Avocado was never high on your list of favorite foods anyway. The trap starts working. You've caught an Antwerp. It's simply amazing. This is the Antwerp maze. Antwerps are naturally bouncy, so all you have to do is continually rotate the maze until the baby Antwerp bounces over to the key, then out through the exit. Congratulations. You've used the baby Antwerp to get Dr. Cranium's laboratory key from the maze. You add the key to your keyring. Great! You've managed to find Dr. Cranium's keyhole and open the door. You pass through into Dr. Cranium's private laboratory.
Quickly, Igor, the fluid. I must have the fluid. Oh, excuse me. I thought it was Igor coming in to assist me. He helps out in the lab sometimes. Now then, what can I do for you? name is Dr. Cranium. I am Moldavia's chief scientist and a certified genius. Some call me mad, but I much prefer Dr. Cranium. Ah, yes, science. I'm glad you asked. Science is the process of systematically increasing our knowledge of the world through observation and experiment. Unfortunately, some of the townspeople here seem to have no concept of the wonders of science. Some of them even claim my little inventions are magical. Such poppycock. There's no such thing as magic. Still, the townspeople insisted that I should be able to use my magic to cure wounds and sickness. I told them that I am a scientist, not a doctor, but they wouldn't listen. I had little choice but to concoct some simple elixirs. They were childishly pleased. Science is really so simple once you understand it. Igor is the gravedigger and tombstone carver. Business has been slow lately, perhaps because there are very few people left in town. So Igor sometimes comes in to help me with my work. Igor has had less work of late. The forest is just as dangerous, but there aren't very many people left in town who are stupid enough to go out there at night, you know. I like to think of it as a sort of evolution in action. Igor is carving out quite a niche for himself in the gravestone business. You might say he is well on his way to becoming a rock star. Then again, you might not. The cemetery is outside of town to the east. It has proven a fruitful source of materials for my experiments. There are also some interesting and cryptic puzzles to be solved there. Ah, yes, science. I'm glad you asked. Science is the process of systematically increasing our knowledge of the world through observation and experiment. Unfortunately, some of the townspeople here seem to have no concept of the wonders of science. Some of them even claim my little inventions are magical. Such poppycock. There's no such thing as magic. Still, the townspeople insisted that I should be able to use my magic to cure wounds and sickness. I told them that I am a scientist, not a doctor, but they wouldn't listen. I had little choice but to concoct some simple elixirs. They were childishly pleased. Science is really so simple once you understand it. If you want to improve your stamina, then you should make sure you eat a healthy diet from all the different food groups and get plenty of aerobic exercise. That is science. Oh, you must mean my patented healing drink. You may have my last one. Unfortunately, I have forgotten the formula for its main ingredient. If you can help me remember it, I will be able to make some more healing drinks, although the work is very time-consuming. Thank you. With that information, I'm sure I shall be able to create some sensational scientific solutions. Oh, you must mean my new universal poison antidote. You may have this one, but I will need some help with the formula to make more. Also, I am afraid I only have time to make one each day. Thank you. With that information, I'm sure I shall be able to create some sensational scientific solutions.
You ask Dr. Cranium if he can spare an empty flask for specimen collection.
Of course, of course. I am always delighted to assist scientific research of any kind, and I have plenty of flasks. You may have this one. Experiments are the meat and drink of science. First, you must come up with a hypothesis based on your understanding of the scientific elements. Then perform an experiment to test the hypothesis. Afterwards, you have a pizza. Earth is for solidity and stability. Air gives freedom and movement. Fire provides power and energy. Water, fluidity, and life. Pizza, of course, is the most important element of all. Pizza represents the essence of well-roundedness and regaining strength. Most importantly, you can have it delivered in under half an hour in most areas. A hypothesis is a scientific guess. One predicts the result of an operation, performs an experiment to test the prediction, then has a pizza to celebrate the result. It is very important to stay flexible, however. Sometimes the experiment may give a different result than predicted by the hypothesis. Since real scientists don't like to make mistakes, we always write the hypothesis in pencil. Pizza is a crucial ingredient in many scientific formulae. There is a nearly infinite variation in its effects, depending on whether one starts with pepperoni, mushrooms, artichokes, or plain cheese. One should always order extra pizza in case the experiment requires additional materials. Besides, science is hungry work. Essential etheric fluid is an important ingredient in my formula for reanimating dead bodies. It contains the essence of the element of water, the most important ingredient in life science. This laboratory is where I perform some of my most important research. Lately, I have been trying to bring life back to a dead body and to brew the perfect cup of tea. Reanimating the dead is just another day's work in the life of a scientist. Even science cannot bring a person back quite the way they were, but one can use scientific principles to restore the semblance of life and energy to formerly dead flesh. The one alchemical combination that I have thus far been unable to fully analyze is that of a good cup of tea. I'm sure there must be a way to duplicate the effects of nature, but the results have not been promising so far. Perhaps you would like a cup of spearmint and beefsteak tea? I thought not. This is even harder than rehydration solution and reviving dead tissue. Research is the heart and soul of science. Without constant experimentation to prove or disprove one's hypotheses, the scientist is left trying to solve the world's problems by guesswork. That is hardly the most efficient way to achieve results. I try to maintain a modest selection of useful experimental equipment in my simple laboratory. Unfortunately, it has become very difficult to obtain the most modern scientific accessories since the road out of the valley became closed by the swamp. Mad? Mad? They all call me mad, but what do they know of madness? I am not mad. A bit perturbed about the world situation and how I get so little respect, perhaps, but certainly not mad.
You introduce yourself to Dr. Cranium and tell him a little about your adventures.
I should be most interested to hear about your travels and your scientific discoveries along the way. Unfortunately, I have very little time for that right now. Perhaps we can discuss your adventures when you next return.
You explain to Dr. Cranium that magic is really a lot like science and even deals with the same elements.
Oh, nonsense! There's no such thing as magic. There is only science. What you call magic is simply scientific phenomena that have not yet been properly investigated and catalogued.
Dr. Cranium looks considerably more like a demented wizard or mad scientist than a real scientist. Despite his white hair, You suspect that he is no more than middle-aged. He also seems to have developed a significant paunch. Root beer belly, no doubt. The contraption, looking nothing quite so much as a giant ray gun, points towards the operating table. Now wait just a second. There's no such thing as a ray gun in Mordavia, is there? Even mad scientists' labs need fireplaces to keep warm in this climate. You are in an incredibly cluttered laboratory. Flasks, vials, jars, and tubing cover every surface. Experiments are in progress everywhere. It's a beaker full of eyes, and they all seem to be looking at you. You say goodbye to Dr. Cranium.
Please be careful not to break the beakers or crack the flasks on your way out. Come back and visit again. Oh, and if you see Igor, please tell him I still need the fluid.
After some rest, you feel better. The headstone carver stares at you and then goes back to work. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. After some rest, you feel better. A large ring is securely attached to the ceiling. There is a set of coat hooks in one corner. You never knew adventurers were expected to be that neat. All of the hooks are empty. It is said that a man's reach should exceed his grasp. That's certainly true of what you're trying. After some rest, you feel better. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. That was good climbing practice, but you haven't quite got it yet. Keep trying. After some rest, you feel better. The Burgermeister's window is securely shuttered against the night. The Burgermeister's office is closed. A sign says, office hours 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The general store has closed for the evening. After some rest, you feel better. The door is locked and probably barred as well. You hear movement on the other side of the door. After a few minutes, you hear someone removing the bar and unlocking the bolts on the other side of the door. The inhabitants of the inn eye you suspiciously. You get the feeling that you're not particularly welcome here. You get a fine meal of roast duckling a la garlic. Three of the townsmen huddle together. They keep looking in your direction as they talk. You suspect that they are saying something not particularly complimentary about you. The innkeeper looks rather grim. Life in Mordavia has obviously not been kind to him.
I am well. My wife keeps the kitchen, and I keep the inn. To Together, we make the Hotel Mordavia the best place to stay in all this valley. They come in here in the evening to talk, to drink, and relax. My wife prepares and serves 2 hearty meals a day. I am sure you will find them satisfying. Just sit down in the chair by the door and Bella will be happy to serve you. Garlic is our national vegetable. We all love garlic around here, don't we, my friends?
Of course. Hey, everyone loves garlic.
Yeah, it's stinky. It's our country's flower.
I don't care much for garlic.
I don't remember asking. You know, we don't get many strangers here, now that the pass outside's been cut off.
He's right. We don't trust ones who come here by unknown means.
Yeah, particularly strangers we don't know.
We tend to be kinda suspicious of strangers, and I think I'm looking at one right now.
Yeah, that's where we made the sign that says strangers are unwelcome and unwanted.
Right. And in our own subtle way, we try to get across the fact that we don't like them very much.
Strangers bring bad luck.
Strangers bring trouble.
Actually, the last stranger brought a jester's hat and a staff, but we still don't trust him.
Anything else you want to know, stranger? You know, there's another stranger in town besides you.
Oh, and let me tell you, he is very strange, okay?
Strange? The dude ain't even human.
No one knows how he got here or why he came.
No one knows where he goes during the day, or who he's trying to meet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he tells jokes. At least I think he does.
Yeah, he says he's a real jester.
He dresses like Sonny Bono.
And he acts like a gnome.
He is a gnome, Einstein. The town of Mordavia is a very safe place to be, gotta tell you.
Oh yeah, you got nothing to fear within the walls of the town.
Other than the old monastery.
Yeah, the old monastery. As long as you don't venture into the old monastery, you'll be safe as milk in this town.
Yeah, as long as you don't even think of getting near the old monastery, you're gonna be okay.
Did I mention the monastery door?
Oh, yeah, right. The monastery door. Look, as long as you don't go near the monastery door.
In fact, nowhere near the monastery. Don't even think about it.
You'll be perfectly safe in the town of Mordavia.
Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with us.
Yeah, we're okay. We've been tested.
Well, to tell you the truth, I do feel a cold sore coming on.
Hey, Mordavia nights are dangerous.
Oh, he's right, you know. Nobody goes out at night, except my girlfriend, but she's working.
Her and a few ghosts, and revenants, a wraith, and vampire or two.
Hold it, put it in park. There are no vampires in Mordavia.
Vampires in Moldavia. Whoever heard of such nonsense?
I hate to burst your bubble, but my Uncle Fred was bitten by a vampire once.
Your Uncle Fred's alive and well and retired till Silmaria. Hello?
Yeah, I know him. He sends you a postcard every harvest time saying, "Where's my $20?"
Well, he had a miraculous recovery.
not believe in heroes in Mordavia. We have no need of heroes here.
Yeah, I mean, a hero's a nice sandwich, but I don't want to live next door to one.
Actually, I had an uncle once who was a hero.
Will you give me a break with all this hero stuff? Enough!
You hear the sound of silence. Nobody answers your knock. As you start to open the door, you realize that this is the innkeeper's room. You quickly close it again before you get caught. You unlock the door to your room and go in. You light the candle. You awaken as the sun begins to rise.